Before we get into more deer hunting stuff, I want to talk to you about you've been struggling with an injury the last couple of years
Yeah.
with your it's your wrist, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Um, and this last season, you instead of going with a crossbow, you shot a mouth tab with a compound.
Yeah. Left-handed too, so I had to learn how to shoot with my left eye, which was a journey in itself because I'm really strong right eye dominant. So trying to shoot with your left eye, it was like everything you go shooting the bow for 30 plus years one way to doing it opposite arm, opposite eye was. I thought I'd pick it right up. I was like, oh man, it'd be easy. It was extremely difficult for like a killing groups. Like for me, like I wasn't going out till I could put 5 hours on a pie plate at 20 yards, and that took months to achieve on a consistent basis. It was like because I had to like set the mouth tab. I had to like make the mouth tab at different lengths. Too long, my peep wouldn't line up if I didn't get it in my mouth just right. So it's like it was a whole thing, and then learning to shoot with the left eye. So it's like I'd have to draw back with my right eye closed, open my right eye, help acquire the target, then close my right eye. And it was like a whole process. And the first couple deer I shot at, it was just like it was like a comedy. It was like a Benny Hill show. I don't know if anybody knows. I don't know. It's a show from the '80s, I guess, but it was like it was just everything I did was wrong, and I just laughed hysterically. Like the first doe came in, my first time hunting. I'm pretty much hunting from a stand, pretty much at ground level. So I put the saddle on, and I'm pretty much hunting 2 foot off the ground and just using the tree as cover. And as doe come out, I'm like, oh man, first time on a mount tab, this would be great. I go pull back, she don't even know anything. I'm like, and when I shot, I guess I lifted my head up and I shot with a light knock like 10 foot over her back. It just went like screaming past, and I just started laughing. Like I thought it was the funniest thing. Where I'm like, huh. And that doe did not know what was happening. She just froze. So I'm like trying to get another arrow, and I'm like I'm just a complete mess because I'm like, I don't believe this. It's like, what's this happened? Like, so I'm trying to get an arrow, and like she ends up walking off, and I'm like, I just see my lighted knock just like flicker, and I'm like, huh. I was like, well, that was unexpected. So I go get the arrow, and I'm like, how did that happen? I'm like, no idea. Next year, like same thing, and I'm like, what's going on? And then it was because when I'm practicing, I can just drop the jaw. But when a deer came, like a little excited, I'm like, and it's like, and I'm just shooting up. So it went back to, I'm very instinctive shooter. When I pull back, I shoot subconsciously. I don't say, all right, put my hand here, do this, do that. But when I'm up tab, I had to walk myself through every step. All right, I would hold the mouth tab and the string, so it'd be the same, so I get the good peep acquisition. Pull back, I'm like, all right, pull back, right eye closed. I have to go through all these steps in every shot, and that was so weird for me because I just couldn't just shoot my bow. I had to like be like a robot. And I mean, first year I killed was a buck. It was pretty cool. Killed 2 bucks. I killed a doe. The whole goal with that was to shoot any legal deer. I had zero expectations. The year before I lost 3 bucks, so it's like I had no meat in the freezer. The year before that, I was at full draw, no shot. So I was like, I had no deer meat. So I'm like, I'm just shooting any legal deer. I don't care if it's a 3 on one side, 4 pointer. If it's got 3 points on one side, I'm shooting it. And every deer that was in range, I took a shot at. And when the rut came around, I was in. I mean, I had a fantastic, November. I lost a big one, stuck a really big one, lost him. Um, and that was kind of funny because I'm at full draw and he's chasing doe like uh, all around underneath the tree, and I'm like, and you can't meh because my mouth closed. I'm going,
Yeah.
and he doesn't see anything, So I was like, he's like right underneath me, and by the time he stopped, I still don't know how I didn't kill that deer. Like, I got the arrow went all the way through him. I was a little high because he ducked, but I'm like, I'm in the lungs, back of lungs, kind of high, but at a slight angle. I was like, that deer's dead. We tracked that deer for like 900 yards, man.
Mm.
Just like I don't know how blood the whole way. Like it was bleeding on both sides, and I by the time we're like, I don't know how he's not dead. You know, it was like, because I shot, was it the Simmons 200 grain, like a
Yeah.
big cut, you know? So I was like, and I had the ones, the grizzly sticks, you know,
Hmm.
I shot them and, and I still don't know how that deer didn't die because I've shot a lot of deer and like, this is high back of lungs, you know? So, but it was like, when he's running away, I'm like, my arrow, I'm like, man, I'm like middle of the body. So I'm like, that's top of lungs, bottom of lungs.
Yeah, it should
Like,
be dead.
yep. And I ended up did find that deer a couple months later, like
Mm.
500 yards from where we lost last blood in the ditch.
Yeah.
And I'm
Still,
like,
that's a long way.
yeah, and I'm like, how did I like? I still don't know how that deer. I mean, adrenaline maybe. Like if you maybe nicked the lung, the first lung going in or whatever, because the two blade broadhead, maybe it just nicked it. I don't know.
Yeah.
It,
Um,
man, but yeah, that's deer hunting. We all lose deer.
so I'm trying to envision a mouth tab because I've seen these. I've seen guys shoot them before. Like you have like um, I don't know what they're called, the Olympic people that don't
Yeah,
have arms and stuff. Shooting
yeah,
with their yeah.
Paralympics.
So is it a piece of leather that goes in your mouth then, and like where does it go when you shoot? That's what I.
It goes flat, like on you just, I did mine out of a dog collar, half-inch dog collar,
Okay.
first one, and then I bought some half-inch webbing, and then made
Hmm.
another one. I'm like, because I tied mine, you tie it to your D loop, just like a regular D loop. You put it on
Okay.
on your D loop, so you still have a D loop, and I did it straight, and then I tried folding it flat so I can just bite on it, but I never could get a good solid bite with so much material. So I went with even a thinner half-inch webbing. I have so much webbing here, like I'm a seamstress, and I'm like, because you can't just buy like Amazon or whatever, like you got to buy like 100 yards. I'm like, I'm
Yeah.
never gonna need this, but it's like $5, and I'm like,
Yeah.
all right, cool. So it's like I got all this webbing, but I finally found the length and the size that worked for me, like, and the length's super important because if you put it too far in your mouth or too far out, you can't line up your peep sight. It's
Mm.
like because you end up like doing this, and then you're pulling on the mount tab, twisting the D loop, getting weird like arrow flight. So it was like very, for me it was like I pretty much would hold the back of my D loop like this and just put it right against my lip, you know, like I was smoking something, and then like pushing that, and it would give me the right, you know, spot
Angle.
where I can
Yeah.
see, yeah, on through the peep because first couple of deer too, like going back, like fighting for a peep sight. You're like, look, you're trying to do all this, and it's like you're just, in the backyard. You're like, I was just so money, but when you get in the woods, all that
Yeah.
stuff changes.
Different angles and stuff.
Yep.
Yeah. Um. So like, you're a very proficient archer. You do you work in a bow shop or own a bow shop too, or
Yeah, I used to. Yeah, I used to. That was be my second job. I worked at
yeah.
quite a few shops and
Okay. What
competed. I did all that stuff.
Right, right. So, like, I just always curious, like, how much harder it is to shoot with your mouth than like me or you just going out and shooting,
Like,
and like your setup. What's different? Like, how much poundage wise, draw length, did it all have to change?
yeah, like so for me, like I think I could have shot with a mount tab, right eye, like left hand. It would have went a
Yeah,
lot smoothly, but doing everything opposite. And I was like, so I got to buy a bow. I was like, so I bought was it a PSC Stinger? I
yeah.
had 25 and a half inch draw length, 25 and a quarter. I was like 43 pounds, and I had like a 495 grain arrow, I think it was. So it was like a 35, 55 gold tip, and it's
Hmm.
like at 20 yards, it was literally just like, I was already starting to, plummet down. So it was very much like shooting a recurve, like the
Yeah.
range, the effective range. Like 18 was like my wheelhouse. Like 18, 20, it just started opening up. At 20 yards, like the groups would just get bigger and bigger. But like 18 seemed to be like my sweet spot. So it was like I was trying to set up spots, at that range. Sometimes, I'm used to shooting 40 yards. So it's
Right.
like I got to shoot, and then it's like I'm hunting from the ground a lot of times. So it's like I haven't done that in forever. Get my cat out of here. So it's like I had to. relearned so many things this year, and like hunting was an escape for me because all my wrists, like I got a brace on, I had my cast on. So I was like, I'm going out, I was like, if it's super cold, I couldn't go out because I couldn't put gloves on this hand. So I was like, I had a whole like cast on. So I'm like, I would cut a sock, like throw over like a wool sock. It was kind of chilly, but I was like, I was basically like a fair weather hunter. I was like, I
Yeah.
couldn't go out super cold. And there was some days I got up, like my arm just hurt so bad. I'm like, I don't even want to go hunting, So it was like, I hunted less than 20 times, killed a bunch of deer, seen a bunch of big bucks. It's like, it's such a
Yeah.
weird thing, I guess. Like I had like zero expectations going to the season, and I didn't expect anything. It was like, all right, what happens, happens. And it was like, it was a great season.
Yeah. Well, dude, kudos to you for figuring it out. Like you said, or we were talking a little bit about this beforehand. You could have just picked a crossbow up, and
Oh,
nobody would have judged you for it.
I would have shot 3 popes with a crossbow this
Yeah.
year. They're nice. I was like, but I wouldn't have been happy with myself if I didn't give the mouth tab a try. If I couldn't get it, like I cracked a filling. I ended up losing a tooth because it got infected. They filled it, but it actually cracked one of my things. Like I had to get a tooth pulled because of that.
Yeah.
So, like, I literally lost a tooth instead of
Jeez.
shooting a crossbow. It's like
Yeah.
not my finest moment. My wife thinks I was an idiot, but she's probably right.
They usually are.
Because I don't want to shoot a crossbow. I'm like, yeah, it's a trade off. I can knowing that I gave it my all, and I'm happy with that.